Check, check. Okay, hey, what's going on, guys? We are looking at Prime Speaker Zegana. So it's a blue and green creature. When this creature enters the battlefield, this creature gets plus X plus X. X is the total power of creatures you control. So that's probably the green side. And the blue side is going to be at the beginning of your turn, discard a card and draw two cards. So my initial thought with this card was let's just ignore green because let's face it, green doesn't really need another card that just gives a giant buff to itself. So there are plenty of other cards in green that will do that for us. So I thought, okay, maybe this card is good to add some raw power to blue. So I am pairing it with some cards that will help us do that for us. Felix 5 boots will make sure that I can play a Prime Speaker most turns. We'll get into why not always and some of the things that are going on in here that will help us do it a little bit more consistently. So we are running Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, who I like a little bit more than I used to, mainly due to the loyalty costs being cut so far. I mean, I'm glad they totally didn't have to cut them all down to the same cost, but I'm glad they did. So, okay, here we go. We want Ripples of Undeath down because um, there are a couple things that I've noticed happen when you play this creature. Um, couple things that make it not as cool of a card as I would want it to be. Oh, nice. Knowledge is power. Um, we'll do a Prime Speaker Zegana. Next. We'll grab a. Oops. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, well. Doesn't matter at this point. So I think I'll be able to explain it better once I get Felix 5 boots down. Okay. Zegana is not really going to get much out of it yet. We got to wait till we build up our Master of Keys first before we get much out of it. Kidnap and Ripples, which is pretty good. So Prime Speaker is bugged right now in that it only triggers once a turn, which pretty much limits its usefulness. I think it would be a lot stronger if you can trigger it more than once a turn, but that bug should be fixed soon, hopefully. So we get Felix 5 boots. And the way we want to use Felix 5 boots is every time Prime Speaker attacks or deals combat damage to our opponent there, we're going to get a new Prime Speaker with full mana into our hand. But the reason we want Ripples of Undeath down is because at the beginning of your next turn, you're going to possibly discard the last card in your hand. Well, you are, but it's going to basically erase the card from your hand that you just filled with mana on the turn before. So Ripples of Undeath draws at the end of your turn. So that means that card that we draw at the end will get discarded instead of one of our creatures that we just duplicated here. And that means we'll get to build our creatures up a lot more. Interesting. Okay. Well, we stole this Galta. So we want to play the Master of Keys. Want to play these Prime Speakers last. Play the Master of Keys first, and then make sure that we get the most buff we can. Oh wait, why did I do that? I'm not sure why I muted my creature. I meant to only mute one of them, but okay, that's fine. So Prime Speaker comes down, gets a huge buff from the Master of Keys. I could have won that one quicker had I not realized I had muted both my Prime Speakers. I think that was just a finger slip. I'm not sure what happened there. So blue especially is not known for having a lot of raw power in its creatures. So this does give you that option to build one of your creatures out, but problem is you do kind of need another creature that is really high powered to get much out of the Prime Speaker to begin with. So that's why I'm pairing with Master of Keys. But if you have other creatures that you can make large, or just come to the battlefield large, that also helps. Okay, we get a Felix. Destroy target creature. Get some mana. Was hoping that I could get Felix down before he got rid of it for me. Going to use his first ability to try and find our Prime Speaker. We want a Master of Keys though too, so we'll pull him out. Put him down. Let's see if I can get that lock and load going. This might do it. Is it? Yes. Okay. Hopefully we draw into a Zegana. Nope. But that's okay. Well, we're going to win here without ever seeing the Zegana play. That's okay. Thing about Zegana is that you spend all this time making sure that all of your other cards help to supplement her, and then those end up winning. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this card because not only is it bugged, but I just don't think it's that great of a card in most situations. I think if you have some creatures already on the board that are pretty powerful on their own, this is just kind of like a extra win more. The beginning of your turn, discarding a card and drawing 2 cards messes with some other strategies that you might be running. You can't play this with Dragon Hawk. You can't play this with Cruel Claw. You play it with some other cards, but unless you're doing something that's really benefiting off of the drawing, which you might be. I mean, Knowledge is Power is a pretty good card to pair with this one, but beyond that, I just don't think that this card brings a lot to the table. It's a little bit of a kind of a vanilla card. The discard and draw 2 cards at the beginning of your turn can get you a lot of cards, and so she's a decent pairing in Jace Reawaken because he kind of needs a lot of card draw to get the most out of him. So I'll show you how that works. This is kind of the same thing, but problem is this has the issue that you'll see when running the Felix combo without having some card draw at the end of your turn. Okay. Maybe I should have saved that kidnap. Oh well. At least I can scooch past him with menace. Let's see. We can always just throw him back into their hand. Okay. Yeah, that's weird too. It's not calculating the buff correctly either on top of the other bugs it has. So it's just really not a good card to play with right now. And I argue that it's not going to be that great when you, even when this card is fixed. So really not one of my favorites, to be honest. See, next turn, that Zegana that I just copied to my hand, she's going to discard it, so I don't get the benefit. Let's get rid of these. See, she discards it before I get to even copy it, which sucks. It means I need to clear a lot of space in my hand as well. Yeah, stole him. So that's what happens when you don't have Ripples of Undeath in your deck or out in play when you try to use this combo. I mean, there are probably better way, or there are other ways to copy them every turn. If I was playing Extravagant Replication instead, that's also an option there. But yeah, that's it for this one here. Not a very impressive card. I would say it's one of the weaker masterpieces of this set. Even if everything was working all right, it's it can be a strong card in terms of power, but it's a strategically weak card. And when you get into like the higher levels of play, you really got to think about every card doing something beneficial for you. The stronger the impact the card has when it hits the board or what it does continuously over time, the better and more valuable it'll be for you. So this card just doesn't really fit that mold for me. So I'm going to say it's not a chase card. So I just wanted to do this video really quickly because I actually want to do another one here where I will be showcasing Twin Flame Tyrant, which is a much more interesting and fun card to play with. So I'll be back soon, and yeah, just hold tight, and should be about 10 minutes or so. So yeah, hopefully stick around, and